Hello amigos! Don't we like to look back at things? How some things were so much better back then? How some games were just releasing we were so hyped about them? Then we come to the realization that they aren't even that good? Well, this exact situation happened with Mario in Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and holy shit, this collection fucking sucks. Anybody remember this game? No? Nobody? Let me give you a rundown. Super Mario 3D All-Stars, one of Mario's birthday representations, you could say, a collection of the three biggest Mario games, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy, is the big trio because besides them being all iconic, they all had one thing that resembled them from the others. You got Mario 64 with the lack of a good camera, Super Mario Sunshine with Flute, and Super Mario Galaxy with Luma. And as I said, this is one of the birthday gifts for Mario, a collection of the 3D games that made history on Mario's life. What could possibly go wrong? Everything. You see the trailer and nothing is bad at first glance. It's the big trio of Mario games with better graphics, stretched image for Super Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy. It probably has controller support for Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy because both of them have little gimmicks that only work with their specific controllers. Nothing wrong with this trailer in my opinion. Let's remember, that opinion is from the trailer. Let's look at the actual game. This is what I waited for. Let's run down with the main problems besides some minor problems because you can really see what are the bigger problems with this collection. The first problem with Super Mario 3D All-Stars is the timed release on both version, physical version and digital version. Now I get why you limited time on the physical version. This one is for the Nintendo fans that want everything with the case in. This is no regular game, this is a collection for Mario's birthday. I get it. But digital as well? I cannot come with a reason besides guaranteed money for Nintendo because why else would you limit a game on digital version? As I said, the only reason is guaranteed money for panic reasons. Nintendo fans are going to feel the urge of buying this game because it's not going to be on the same price forever, and after March 31st, the price for this game is going to rise hard. And wouldn't you know it, Mario 3D All-Stars becomes one of the best sellers on the Nintendo Switch, right below Luigi's Mansion. This is something that I feel ashamed and I don't even work for Nintendo. It's kind of a dick move to put that threat onto your fanbase. You sell 9.01 million copies in the span of 7 months, and they say they aren't making more after March 31st, so that's even worse. It's not that big of a number compared to other games, but still it's something so unbelievable from a company. Then you remember it's Nintendo and it all makes sense. That was one of the problems and still is for this game, because we all had that fear of not seeing it again on stores, so we buy it to not run that risk of never seeing it again. But we can see that the game has been fine and dandy for the past 5 months, so that fear was nothing and we all spent our money on the rush. So that's the first problem with Super Mario 3D All-Stars. It didn't even come super rare or something like that. You can search it up on Amazon and it appears instantly with the original price and all. Nintendo got away with their mastermind plan of buying it the exact day that it released. Another problem with the collection is the lack of one. What do you mean? You got the 3 games, right? Yeah. That's the problem. Nintendo only put 3 games on a Nintendo cartridge and called it a day. This is not bad to you and probably for many people, but that is one of my pet peeves with video games. If they get to the main point and don't have anything interactive on the menu, that's a minus points. This is why I much rather prefer the Wii U menu over the Switch menu because it actually feels alive. In Super Mario 3D All-Stars compared to Kirby's Dream Land collection, Super Mario 3D All-Stars feels so hollow and sad with nothing on the menu. Take a reminder that this is Mario's 35th birthday. In Kirby's Dream Land collection, everything is Kirby themed. You can look around in Kirby's history, see the details about Kirby, you know, all that good stuff. In Super Mario 3D All-Stars menu, you can look at the story about the games and hear the soundtrack and that's it, there's nothing else on the menu. You could have used the renders that appear when you boot up a game. You could have used Super Mario 64 DS minigames as a distraction from the main collection, but no, you decided to be lazy. And I know this is not supposed to be the main attraction of the collection, but goddamn, it feels like they didn't even try. It looks like you got a kid to do your menu and call it a day. This is bad. Now that we've looked at the different circumstances the game had before it was released and the main menu, let's get to the main 3 games that have been praised for many years. Well, Super Mario 64 isn't so bad. The only problem is that they changed version, no big deal. This doesn't change the game in general, just some bits and pieces of the original. Some of the audio is pitched up and it honestly makes it a little bit weird as for someone that has played Mario 64 for hours. You can no longer do backwards long jumps since it's on the PAL version. It ruins a lot of the fun in this game to my opinion, because a big chunk of Mario 64 fans are the ones that speedrun it, so taking this element out, it brings a lot of people down, or well, at least least I think so. Now, some good things about this version of the game is the polished textures and new renders for the life counters and the coins, etc. And I still don't get why they didn't stretch the screen just like they did with Super Mario Sunshine, but it's still fine at the end of the day. It's not the biggest problem in the world, it just feels off seeing the other games. Moving on to Super Mario Sunshine, and remember in the trailer there was a possibility of GameCube controller support? Well, you thought wrong. It doesn't have a GameCube controller support, so plugging a GameCube controller feels super awkward. GameCube controller support was added in a future update for Super Mario 3D All-Stars, but it just feels a little bit off that Nintendo didn't add this in the first release of the game, and it's also really strange that they care so much about this collection to the point of releasing an update. But the game isn't going to be produced anymore after March 31st, you know, it's not very coherent. Anyways, Super Mario Sunshine is probably the one that changed the most. It had new controllers due to the fact of not having analog triggers, and the layout is not the same because they needed to make some changes for this game to work. And this version of the game is actually one that I can get with. It's not necessarily bad, and it's actually the original version, so you can do almost everything. There are some things that bother me, like the frame drops that sometimes happen, and you can feel the frame drops, like really feel the frame drops on Super Mario Sunshine, but I think this game is actually well done for the collection. And for the final game, we have Super Mario Galaxy, everyone's favorite. Not mine. This also falls onto the same category of Super Mario Sunshine. It's actually a good version to put it onto the collection. The movement with the Joy-Cons feels the actual same just like the Wii remote, and the little detail of spinning with Y is something that we really have to thank Nintendo for putting in it. The gyroscope antenna for the controllers can be a little wanky sometimes, but just press R and you will be all good to go. Still bothers me, but not that much. Now, you want to see the real irony with these three games? They're all ROM emulators. Nintendo has been fighting with emulators for the past time, trying to take them down from the internet and get people to actually pay for the old game. Here's also one of the problems with the collection. The whole collection is going around about $70 plus taxes, and it's not worth the price, or well, some of it is, some of it isn't. It's a 50-50 of buying or not, in my opinion. It takes a bunch of gigabytes from your Switch, and the games aren't even fully powered to run 60 frames per second, and they're emulators. Now, we take a look at emulators on your PC. The first good thing is that they're free. Like literally free. You download them, then put them onto Dolphin Emulator or Project 64. You grab a controller that has a USB, plug them onto the computer, and it's like if you're playing the real thing. Reminder that you are playing on the same place you do your homework or do your work. Now sure, not everyone has a gaming computer. That's where Super Mario 3D All-Stars comes into place. But if you have a PC that is capable of running big games, I think it can run retro games including Mario 64 and the other games in the collection just fine. And guess what? No money has been spent because emulators on your computer are free. It's something that I realized after playing the collection for too long. Emulation has much more advantages than the collection. Not to say it's the worst decision if you buy Super Mario 3D All-Stars, but it's way preferable to play on emulators on your PC. Another big argument of the collection is the disappearance of Mario Galaxy 2. Super Mario Galaxy 2, if you couldn't tell, is a continuation of Super Mario Galaxy. Both games are amazing, and I do prefer the first one a lot. A bunch of other people much rather prefer the second one, and I get why. It has a lot more levels, more story from the original game, and honestly improved like 10 times more than the original. So, where's it at? Yeah, Nintendo just kind of forgot about Super Mario Galaxy 2 in general, didn't get mentioned once, and no sights on Mario's 35th birthday, and I think Super Mario Galaxy made more impact than Mario Galaxy 2. Not to say one is better than the other, but if Nintendo was the one that made the decision of not adding Super Mario Galaxy 2 onto the collection, proves my point in a way. But still, that's not an excuse for the game to not be added. Nintendo could have just used the Plus logo that they always use, like Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury and all of that. It could have been like a collection in a collection, and it may have been something out of the ordinary, but if people want both the games, why only add one? It just doesn't make sense at all. And maybe they are planning on releasing another collection where they actually include Super Mario Galaxy 2 with other Mario 3D games, but I don't know, it would have made more sense to add this game onto the original collection. You know, looking back at this collection, it wasn't really what I was expecting, and almost a year after with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, I haven't played this collection a lot like I was expecting to. This deserves more, and I mean a lot more of dedication from Nintendo. The limited release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars in both versions, the lack of a menu for one of the biggest collections, adding stuff into the game in later updates, not putting Mario Galaxy 2 on the collection. All of these things could have been fixed and made Super Mario 3D All-Stars a better collection. Mostly everyone is disappointed with this collection for the lack of love of the biggest mascot of Nintendo. Seeing how they didn't care one bit about Mario and his birthday feels sad, man. Hopefully in the future some other mascot doesn't get treated like Mario and his 35th birthday. And you know, it's not all bad. We also got a lot of other cool stuff for Mario's 35th birthday. And you know, some of the things in this collection are to thank for. The addition of GameCube support and better graphics are things to thank Nintendo, but compare the good things with the bad things win by a lot because this collection feels off and so unfinished. It's truly disappointing finding out that the fans do the job a lot better than Nintendo when it comes to play old games. As I said, emulators bring up a bunch of other options and it's literally free. And looking back, I was so excited to play the big trio of the games, but the hype that it had dries out after a month of playing the collection. Sure, I come back every now and again to play these awesome games, but it's not the way that I thought I would come back. Sometimes I spend weeks of not touching this game. I even spent more than a month of not playing this collection. And I know you're not supposed to play collections every single day because at the end of the game, it's just old games. It's just that I thought I would play these games more often because, you know, they are so iconic. But after learning about the emulators, about nothing on the menu, and it's something so easy to get on your PC, all the hype that I had dried out completely. Overall, I give this collection a 4 out of 10 in my opinion. It's not something you would be proud to release to your fan base, but Nintendo still did it anyway. So in conclusion, Super Mario 3D All-Stars is fine, but not that fine.